what I know now.
Yeah, remember how you always tell us the bar for women is in fucking hell? Yeah, I think the story perfectly illustrates that the bar is in fact deep in hell. 100%. No, 100%. Is this just TikTok 90 Day I just got here? This right here, what we're watching is like every single one of these like 50 episodes has like 6 million fucking views and has been going absolutely nutty mode apparently. So I dove into it thinking I could just like skip around and then realized like, never mind. This is actually insanely compelling. Okay? Stop fucking complaining. Just buckle in and enjoy the goddamn show. I don't know. Maybe we'll speed it up if it gets boring at certain points. But so far, it's been pretty goddamn good. Lock the fuck in! Lock in! Buckle down!
Just knew he lied about I knew he lied about being under contract. So I told him, I said, I don't want to work with your friend who I've never met, never talked to. I know that he has talked to him because he's talked to him in front of me. And I'm going to demonstrate on one of the videos how he used to do his phone calls. Don't worry, it's coming. So we found a new real estate agent. Really nice guy. His name was Scott. I am using his real name. Really nice guy. And we told him what the budget was. And Scott was like, okay, when you guys are ready, we can start looking at houses. Try to look for houses that are empty because you can actually tour those. If it's a house where someone's already living in there, chances are it's going to be a virtual tour because of COVID. So I found a house that I absolutely, in total, we must have looked at about 15 houses. But I found a house in Smyrna that I absolutely loved. We toured the house. Everything about this house was perfect. The house was listed for $699,000. It was a brand new construction build. The only issue was that the basement was not finished, and he wanted the basement to be his man cave. Again, I went with him to tour this house. So this was already feeling very different than the situation in Douglasville, because we did not actually tour the Douglasville house. We only did a FaceTime virtual tour. This house in Smyrna, we toured. We toured this house more than once. And it was gorgeous, fucking gorgeous. So we talked about it. He said that he had the...
I'm so mad that all the houses that they're pointing to are basically like around the same size as my house, and it's fucking $600,000. I bought my house for 2.7.
Money. Again, the price was $699. He said he felt comfortable putting in an all-cash offer. If you remember on the videos before, he told me he had money in his savings from when he played football. So when he said an all-cash offer, even I knew, you got that kind of money? Like, where you can cut a cashier's check for $699,000? And he told me he did.
No, he did. No. That's not how anything works. Hello? No, why would you believe that? Did you forget the last house? Did you forget how the last house wasn't a house? Oh my God, how far can being 6'4" carry you? What the hell is going on? Oh my Lord, dude.
He had money in savings from when he played football, and he was very comfortable paying all cash for this home. So the real estate agent, Scott, sent over the paper.
Bro, it is pretty funny that we established early on episode 2 that arena football players make $18.57 an hour. Okay? Which is why the whole like, oh, arena football got me. If nobody got me, arena football got me is such a hilarious thing to say.
The paperwork was sent in both of our names. It was sent to my email. That was another thing that I changed after Douglasville. Everything gets sent to me, and then I will be sure that he signs it. So he sent it to me. I looked over the offer. We were going to put in an all cash, full price offer with a request to have the basement finished. Also,
not to defend a villain here, but modern dating can be tricky. High expectations lead to some lie. It's not about blaming women. Societal pressure plays a part. Red flags, and she still married him. Must have been tall and wealthy, I guess. Brother, you are, I think, maxed out on being an incel. This is like what I suspect a dude says and believes before they just like shoot up a fucking sorority house or something. Please, for your own sanity, just literally do everything in your power to orient your fucking brain. Okay? This woman is a victim, dog. I know I'm joking about the 6'4" shit, but god damn, brother. Like the Geiger counter, my incel Geiger counter is broken. You broke it. Okay? I can't even do the bit, like the Hitler particle shit bit. Okay? I can't even do that. It's worse than $18 an hour. It's 18.5 an hour for the games they play. It's only like $12K a year because the seasons aren't that long. Holy shit, dude. Please, brother. You looked at a situation where like this woman has been severely victimized by a pathological liar, and you were like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's her fault, honestly. Like, yeah, we are joking about how he's like 6'4" and it goes a long way, and now she's being like, you know, not the smartest here. But god damn, dude, you're casting aspirations and motivations here where none in from your framework should exist. Or if you understand the dating pool, then you understand why she is personally that desperate. Like you just said, you just personally recognize how like modern dating sucks ass. And for some weird reason that didn't lead you to think like she's desperate. Like it's a aspersions, not aspirations. Wait, what do you mean? Why not? Wait, did I use the wrong word? No, like to aspire. Yeah, a hope or ambition of achieving something. No, I used it in the right way. No, I was saying like you're looking for her motivation. I'm using aspiration as a to aspire. You have decided that her motivations are wrong. Casting aspersions. Oh, that's not what I was talking about. No, I'm talking about like her motivation. I'm not saying you're criticizing her. That wouldn't even fit in that situation. No, I'm saying you're looking at her motivations. Like I meant casting aspirations in this situation. What I meant there was you're like casting as in why am I talking about this? This is a 5-hour video. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
We were requesting for the seller to give us an answer within 24 hours. We were requesting a quick closing. These are just some of the things I remember. I remember 24 hours, like I didn't want to wait on, y'all think about it. 24 hours, let us know if you're accepting the offer or not. And then also a quick closing because it was a new construction. So we didn't have to wait for the current tenant to move out. We didn't have to do that. So I watched in our bedroom as he pulled it up because it was a electronic document. He signed his name to the offer for $699,000 cash. He requested again, the seller let us know in 24 hours if they were accepting the offer. So we submitted the offer at around 6 p.m. We were requesting that by 6 p.m. the next day, they let us know if the offer was accepted or not. I watched him sign the offer. I sent the offer back to Scott from my email. All parties had signed. Scott texted us and said, I got it. I'm submitting it. I will let you know what they say. Let's go into part 7. Sorry, let's go into part 8. Good grief, this is getting long. Okay, so I just want to clear up some things that I realize is kind of creating some confusion. So just allow this video to serve as a stop sign. Let's clarify. First of all, the story, background. He was born in Philly, raised in Philly, and moved to Augusta. Story is that he moved to Augusta for high school.
Okay, we're skipping this part.
Spoken all right. So
this is a recap.
them every single day.
Bro, she got filler
Basically, more
episodes, man.
2020,
God
April,
damn.
was just, we
Bro,
found
she got
that
filler
the Amy
episodes,
Martin
bro.
saying to herself, okay, it's time for me to ask some questions. That's my hope. All right, part 8 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we submitted an offer.
Bro, we need to put a fucking one pace up in this bitch. God damn. This is like, oh my God, dude. We need literally fucking, no, we need like, this is crazy.
Offer on the house in Smyrna. I sent it over to Scott, our realtor, and the next day comes, Scott asks if we can take a phone call. So he calls us and tells
A lot of fans don't know, but this is actually where the manga caught up, or the anime caught up to the manga. So Toei Studios had two options. Either they do a filler recap arc, or they continue making the story even longer and put the filler and bake the filler in. And obviously I, as a One Piece fan, would have much rather had filler episodes so I could skip those later. And I think that eventually she basically bakes the fillers in to the story.
Tells us that the offer was not accepted and the builder did not do a counter offer. We don't exactly know why. We don't exactly know why he didn't accept it, but the bottom line is that we figured out later on that he didn't want to finish the basement. So the offer was not accepted. The house fell through. I was okay with that because
yeah, there ain't no fucking way, okay? This dude came in cash on hand and the offer wasn't accepted. I guess he didn't accept it, as she's saying, but
again, I knew
we know why he didn't accept it, because he doesn't have that money.
Put in an offer.
You want to know why I know he doesn't have that money? Obviously, because he's a scammer and whatever. Nobody that has $600,000 sitting in their fucking bank account is dumb enough to buy a house with cash. Especially because if you have that kind of fucking upfront capital that you can dump into a house, then you abso-fucking-lutely would take out a mortgage, okay? That level of wealth, you take out a goddamn mortgage and you put the rest of the money in the market since he's such a savvy investor, okay? Nah, dude's got that arena football offshore money. Especially at that time when interest rates were super fucking low in comparison to what it's at now. Remember.
So we continued looking at other houses. We found another house in Smyrna that he...
With interest rates at 7 to 8? No, this is in 2020. This is before the interest rates rose. What are you talking about? No, interest rates are super low at this point, guys. What are we talking about? Hello? I think you guys are forgetting. I bought my house in 2021. I remember part of the reason why I bought my house in 2021 was because I knew that if I got a 30-year fixed interest with a 30-year fixed mortgage, I knew that this was going to be the last time mortgage rates were going to be that low. Just because I'm a fucking socialist doesn't mean I don't understand the market, for the record. Suck my dick to every fucking broke boy capitalist. Let's fucking go! For the record. Just want to say to all my motherfucking haters out there, Hasan, you're socialist but rich. Yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. Suck my fucking dick, bitch. I locked that shit in. I locked that motherfucking shit in, dude. This house is larger than mine. I am so mad. Oh my God, this is a bigger house than my house. And it's literally $700,000. I am going to die. Okay, that's besides the point. This is a bigger house than mine. It's besides the point. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Why is Atlanta so much cheaper than Los Angeles? That's crazy. Anyway, my point was, yeah, I although I had not established credit, so my interest rate was high, it was still fucking lower than it would have been if I bought it after the peak started, after the interest rate started going up.
Really liked. I thought that it was way too big for just the two of us. And so the price of this home was much higher than the $750,000 that Chase had approved for the mortgage. So what he explained to me was that he was willing to do the $750,000 mortgage, and he was also willing to put a significant amount of the money in savings on the house, which meant that he was now comfortable going from $750,000 up to about $900,000.
You didn't pay cash, motherfucker still mad? Of course I didn't pay cash. You think I have, especially back then, 2021, $2.7 million in cash? Dude, you have to be literally 14 to think I was like that fucking caked up. And I just described to you once again, $2.7 million in cash, even if you have that, is dumb as fuck to just dump it. People think you wrote them a check. Law. I know, I remember, because so many people are like, why didn't you fund the communist revolution with the $2.75 million in cash that you clearly fucking wrote a check to this homeowner to buy the house? Down payment had to be in the 80K range or something, Law? No. What? It's $2.7 million. No, it was more than that. First, what down payment would be 80K?
Again, his whole explanation was, I have the money where I can put down a substantial down payment, bring down the price of the home, and then basically mortgage the rest of it. So that was now the plan. I was not comfortable with a home over $900,000. But again, keep in mind, I saw the Chase paperwork. So
yeah.
I
Chatters are so funny. They're like, oh, my $5 is for a revolution, not hats. No, brother, your $5 so you avoid the top of the hour ad break, which comes at the top of every hour. If you no longer want to see those motherfucking ads, all you need to do is subscribe, baby. For $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, you can do that shit. Okay? Going straight to the fucking house fund. Woo! Hasanabi trying not to talk about his knowledge on money, impossible challenge. Yes. Because I think people legitimately think that I don't know how to make my money work or some shit. Okay? That's not the reason why I don't make my money work for me. Anyway. Yeah, I know how to fucking do capitalism. And I have enough liquid cash to have capital. The reason why I don't do it is because I don't need it. Why the fuck would I do that? I spend it all on my family. And for the most part, it's just like whatever the rest of it is retirement. Here's the 3-minute break now. You are not a socialist? Fuck no, baby. I'm a capitalist, but a really bad one for some reason, even though I understand the dynamic of the market and how it works and how I could just... Dude, listen, brother, you can't say you're not a socialist in this circumstance, especially because, like, the only thing that will help you under capitalism is to just have money. If you have pre-existing money, that's it. It's the cheat code. Okay? That's the cheat code. These guys aren't fucking wise investors for the most part. They just put the money in the market and the market always fucking grows. Unless there's like something genuinely devastating happening. Unless there's something genuinely devastating that's happening, or you went in to too aggressive of a portfolio. You went in with a very aggressive intent and you didn't leverage and you didn't put it into different assets. You didn't diversify your portfolio. Then ultimately, you know, maybe then you can make some mistakes and lose money. Scare little capitalists that don't give anything to socialism. What? So you block people like my friend after you make fun of them? You are not a socialist. You might be a Bernie socialist, as Cobra Commander. You scare little capitalists that don't give anything to socialism. Yeah, don't give anything to socialism. You blocked my friend. Wait, who did I ban? I wonder. Yeah, let me go pay into socialism.
I was like, I just feel more comfortable sticking at the 750,000 mark. That's what you were approved for. Let's go with that. By this point, this is now fall of 2020. We had been talking about marriage. I had my ring. He had made VP at the company.
I didn't block Anson.
And again, he was calling me every day from work. I need to kind of explain how the company was ran, because when
Oh,
you
he got
think VP,
timed
you
out.
would think he would be in an office. It was a condiment company, so they actually were producing the condiments, and I'm not saying the name of the company on purpose, but they were producing the condiments in this particular plant location. So a lot of times, he would simply tell me that he walked the floor, checking in with his subordinates, basically. Now, how did he go to work? For the most part, at this point, he left before I woke up. However, pretty much he wore dress pants, kind of like a dark navy blue cargo pant, and he had a polo shirt with the company logo on it. What I saw a lot of times is that he would not wear the polo shirt to work. He would wear like a company t-shirt. He would wear rubber sole shoes and the navy blue cargo pants. I didn't think it was a uniform, but it reminded me of what someone would wear when I worked at Amazon, if you're going to be doing manual labor. He didn't go to work sloppy looking at all, but it definitely was not suit and tie. Nowhere near suit and tie. It is fair to note that outside of work, he was a man who he loved to dress. He loved to wear the latest Jordans. He loved to collect watches. He collected a lot of Invicta watches. He loved to collect hats. He wore hats, baseball caps everywhere because he didn't like the shape of his head. So in terms of how he dressed casually, the man, he could dress. In terms of how he dressed for work, yeah, he didn't dress like a VP. But his excuse was, I'm constantly walking the production floor, and I can't be in a suit and tie walking the production floor
Invicta
where they're
watches.
creating the condiments that we're selling. So by this point, again, this is fall. We're still looking at houses. We're still touring houses as much as we can because it is COVID. We had found another house that we really liked and a house that I really, truly wanted to put an offer in on. This was now going to be the second house that we put an offer on.
This man had a huge fossil collection. Invicta is like the Michael Kors, dude. It's like, oh man, he was really loaded. He had a whole bunch of Michael Kors.
He put in the asking price, I believe, was about $700,000. He put in under asking an offer for about $650,000. I'm guessing, but I'll try to find the house and put it on the story. The reason that house fell through, we found out that the home was sitting on a septic tank. We found out that the septic tank had an issue, and it would have taken about $15,000 to $20,000 to fix the septic tank. The sellers were not willing to fix the septic tank. Personally, I didn't really care for the house that much. I'm the one who was like, I don't really want it. So even though we put an offer in, we had 24 hours where we could pull our offer back. And so we did. Once we found out, I believe it was in the disclosure. And if you're a realtor, please feel free to tell me if I'm using the wrong terminology. But I believe it was in.
Dude, it's so hard for me not to respond to LARPers like this, dude. Anson is nice. I know you fools, and you would get the wall. Like, it's so hard. It was Anson, and he got timed out for a week because he was like duking it out with other chatters, and I already unbanned him. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this type of stuff is so funny. Like, Anson brought his own. Wait, Cobra Commander, is Anson actually 44 years old? Be honest. How you escaped the wall? First of all, brother, and I mean this in all sincerity, I wish for a future where I am executed as a reactionary. Okay, so that's number one. That would imply that society has advanced so far beyond, hopefully not like in a fucking silly ass like Maoist struggle session. That would be shitty. But like actually we have progressed so far that like I'm being fucking executed because they're like, this man is too reactionary. Okay? On a planet where I would be considered a right-wing figure is a planet where we have already gotten luxury gay space communism. Okay, we're talking Star Trek at that point. We can hope. Yeah, I like that your hoping is, however, simply that I just get executed, which is, once again, a phenomenally funny way to operate, to be like, yeah, I'm an anarchist and my biggest enemy is a fucking Twitch streamer. Are the Danes okay? I don't think they have been okay since they flubbed the whole conquering England shit. All right, let's continue.
In the disclosure that they told us the septic tank needs to be replaced. That's when I was like, nah, I don't want that house. So we pulled out. The house fell through. And so I was fine with it because, again, I was heavily involved. I saw him sign the offer. I knew every step of what was going on. Our real estate agent, Scott, was amazing, but you will see when I get to it where he made a mistake as a real estate agent. So house number 2 fell through. We then moved on, saw a few more houses.
Shocked to find out that house number 2 also fell through.
Then we get to house number 3. I'm going to pause talking about the houses because now I need to introduce what happened with the cars. Stay tuned. All right. Yes! Part 9 of Who the Fuck Did
back. She's driving again. It's going to be another long one.
So we're pausing on the house stuff. Let me tell you about the car. So when I met my ex-husband, I was driving a 2012 Nissan Rogue, fully loaded. It had quite a few miles on it, but it got me from A to B. It was in good condition, but I was upside down in the car. He was driving a 2018 Ford Taurus. Sport mode. I know he had a sport mode on the car, and I love driving that car. When he told me how he was a regional manager, he told me that one of the perks that came with the job was that he would be getting a company car. And so we spent time going to Range Rover of South Atlanta. We spent time going to Jaguar. We spent time going to BMW. We spent time going to Ford.
Ain't no way they're giving my boy a fucking Beamer, okay?
Which was on Mount Zion in Morrow, if you all are familiar with that area. He test drove a whole lot of cars. In the end, he decided on a BMW sedan. I was there when he test drove the car. I got in the car with him. I loved it. And he explained to the salesperson, I'm getting a company car. I need to get a printout of the full price of the car, tax, tag, and title. Because what my company is going to do is wire over the money for the car. The salesperson was like, okay, apparently that happens a lot. So he gave him a printout with the tax, tag, and title for the car. In front of me and the salesperson, he called the person in the finance department for his job. Obviously, I have no idea what this person's name is, but he called.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This kind of seems like the New Yorker magazine story or whatever. Was it the New Yorker magazine where like last week or so they wrote an article about how like the personal finance person for the New Yorker talked about this like incredibly elaborate scam, or The Cut, sorry. Talked about an incredibly elaborate scam where like that person basically gave away $50,000 in a shoebox or some shit. Okay. And honestly, at that point, the grift is so like, it's so elaborate that I do kind of understand why. Like, I know for a fact that, there are plenty of people that try to fucking do this kind of shit on me all the time. Right? I have a pretty good nose for this sort of thing, I think, but I also kind of understand why a grift that complex is probably going to be like, there's some red flags, but ain't nobody is going this far. You know what I mean? Like, this makes Ludwig look like the savviest person who has never been scammed.
Called the person, he explained to them, this is the amount of money. He said the president of the company, so-and-so, has authorized for him to get a car, not spending more than, I think, $90,000, tax, tag, and title. The BMW came out to just under $90,000. And so I remember this conversation so fucking vividly. So he's on the phone in front. I'm sitting down, the salesperson sitting down at their desk, and he's like, they put me on hold. And so he's like, I guess the person comes back and he says, the price of the car is blah, blah, blah. He was like, give me a second and I can send you a picture of that printout that shows tax, tag, and title.
A Fed called a woman over the phone instead of showing up at her front door. Yeah, Feds do call you on the phone, for the record. That is a thing that people will do sometimes. Just saying. I can confirm.
For the BMW. He gets off the phone. He takes a picture of it.
Oh my God. Speaking of Feds. Okay, this is random, but I have to describe this. I was shocked. Detective showed up at my front door the other day before I started streaming. I can't believe I forgot to explain the story. And like, I look through the camera. I see that like she's in civilian clothes and she has her badge and she has her gun. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I assume that I got another fucking death threat or something. You know what I mean? Or, I don't know. Was she 6'4"? No. I was like, it happens. It's common. Or, like in other circumstances, if it was like an actual patrol officer or a SWAT team, I would know exactly what's going on. But the fact that this person was dressed in civilian clothes, I was like, oh, it's a fucking detective. Not the first time I've talked to detectives, but definitely the first time a detective has come to my house. And so she walks in and she's like, oh, there was a robbery in this place. Can we, there was a robbery in your neighborhood and we wanted to look at the security cameras, which was incredibly fucking shocking because I genuinely did not realize that the LAPD even fucking cared about cars being broken into. Answer the question, is she hot? No. I was actually in awe. I was actually in fucking awe that you literally had. No, I'm not even joking. Like, this shit is so motherfucking commonplace out here. Like, people breaking into cars is so motherfucking commonplace. What up, big dog? Wait, LAPD detective or FBI? No, LAPD detective showed up at my house. FBI has never shown up at my house, but I have had phone conversations with the FBI. What do you mean? For you to say they care if it's a rich person? No. This shit happens all the fucking time in my neighborhood, okay? I've never even heard of a cop actually giving a fuck. Did she enter your house because something similar happened in my family, but they were looking at trying to get my dad on a charge? No, I welcomed them in because I thought originally that it was probably a death threat or some shit. But it was genuinely a shocking moment. She was investigating something else. She just lied. No, she literally showed me the fucking police report. Did you give him the footage? I scrolled through it. There was nothing. It didn't come up on my camera. Like, as in, it was outside of the vision of the camera. This is commonplace. It's scary. I'm sure you've thought about it a lot. Have you stumbled upon what you think would be a solution to this? Well, yeah, no. Rich, poor, doesn't matter. Cars get broken into in Los Angeles literally every day, nonstop, and cops 100p do not fucking. This is the first time. This is the first time in my life living in Los Angeles, living in shitty neighborhoods, living in obviously richer neighborhoods. This is the first time I've ever seen a cop actually follow through on it. A detective, not even a cop, a fucking detective. People keep saying they must have been looking for someone, but you don't understand. Like, they had the fucking report. Anyway.
Sends it to whoever. He waits about 10 minutes. He calls the person back. He says, did you get it? Apparently the person did get it. But the person who can actually physically do the wire transfer had gone home for the day. So what he says to the BMW salesperson, he's like, okay, we're going to have to do this tomorrow because so-and-so went home for the day. I don't know who the salesperson is. I can only tell you from my viewpoint what I thought. I had no reason to think this was a lie. I really didn't. Because again, you got to please keep in mind the circumstances that all of this is happening. We're inside the dealership. We're sitting at the desk of this person. He gave us the printout. He's on the phone, doing business, basically saying, look, this is how much money the car is going to cost. He's taking a picture of it. He seemingly is texting someone saying, this is how much, this is proof of how much it is. Then he asked the BMW salesperson, I need your wire transfer information. The guy got up, rushed over to, I guess, their finance area to get the bank wire information, because obviously you have to wire it a certain kind of way. Rushes back over.
I love that she keeps looking over at the camera while she's driving in a straight line. Okay.
Gives it to my ex-husband. My ex-husband's like, okay, first thing in the morning, we will get this wired over and then, I'll come and pick up the car. My fiance, will drive me up here to pick up the car. So we leave. he felt like, because at the time that this all happened, I was pregnant. So he felt like, look, we're about to have a baby. I don't want you driving that Nissan Rogue. I want to get you something. I want to get you something more secure, something new. I really wanted a Kia. I really wanted a Kia Telluride. And he was like, well, let's look at the warranty. This man knew a lot about cars. He knew a lot about the warranty. He knew a lot about the depreciation value. And so he did talk to me a lot about what will we get the most for our money. We test drove, when I say we, I test drove a Kia Telluride, a Kia Sorento. He didn't like either of those. He had me test drive a Ford Explorer. He didn't really care for that. Then came time where he really wanted me to get a BMW. He really wanted me to get a BMW X5. So he took me to Global BMW Imports, which, if you know anything about Atlanta, it's off of Cobb Parkway, but you can see it off the highway. I believe 285 is where you can see the Global Imports BMW dealership. He took me there. He had me test drive an X5, an X6. He also had me test drive I think I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, a 525, which was a sedan. I did not like that. I wanted an SUV. I loved driving the BMW. He also had me drive an M-Series, test drive an M-Series. So he was very adamant that I should get a BMW. The reason being is because, according to him, he had a BMW in California when he lived in San Diego. He had a BMW that he loved. It was a white BMW. He showed me pictures of the BMW. So he showed me pictures of this white BMW that he had, and unfortunately, the car got totaled about 2 months before he moved to Georgia. So he had received money, not a lot, but some money to get another car, and he used it to get the Ford Taurus because he was like, I just need a car that's going to get me from A to B until I get into a house and I'm much more settled. For him, he was like, I'm really giving myself 60 days to get settled here in Georgia after moving from California. But then he met me. Again, that's the story. So he had me test drive the BMW. So much so, I loved the BMW. Loved it. I wanted a dark blue BMW with cognac interior. I wanted an X5, and I wanted an M-Series. So I can clearly tell y'all that's exactly the car I wanted. We were online looking for that particular car because not every dealership had it. I was okay with a black BMW if needed. But I really wanted dark blue, and I really wanted that cognac colored interior. So he felt like, I want you to consider all of a sudden an Audi Q8. Let's just see how you like it. If you don't really like it, then we will go back to the BMW. I cannot tell you why he switched up. I can't. But I can tell you he took me to an Audi dealership on Peachtree Industrial. He test drove an Audi, and I test drove an Audi Q8. I loved the Q8. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But I was tired of test driving cars. By this point, I had test driven so many cars. Our weekends were spent either looking at a house or test driving cars. And I was picky, I will admit that. So he had me test drive the Q8. I really liked it. I finally just told him, look, I'm good with either the BMW or the Audi. Car. Because I'm tired of test driving cars. He told my family he was buying me a new car because, keep in mind, not keep in mind, let me let y'all know. He had met my family initially on Zoom. Because again, we were locked down. He had met my family.
BMW X Series over Audi Q Series. Audi Q8 is a great car. Audi Q8 is a fucking phenomenal car. Literally the exact same car as the Porsche Cayenne and the exact same car as ding ding ding, the Lamborghini Urus, as a matter of fact. So I would say it's a better car than any Beamer you'll fucking buy. I trust. A lot of gas though, bro. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, SUVs are fucking gas guzzlers and dumb as fuck, but you have a Urus? No.
He also had met my family in person because at this point...
Yeah, bro, I bought a fucking Lambo. You think if I bought a motherfucking Lambo that you wouldn't know about it already? It would be in every hater's paste bin. Every hater, every fucking hater would be talking about how they already lie and say that like I bought a gas guzzler.
It was like, look, if you're not showing any symptoms, maybe we can do family dinner. And so he had met my family in person. And now we will go ahead and move towards part 10 of this series. Okay, part 10. Who the fuck did I marry? Okay, had to sneeze. All right, so at this point, I had test driven all these cars. Kias, hell, he even had me test drive a Nissan Murano, but the main two were BMW and an Audi. He had told my grandfather he was getting me a car. He had told my aunt he was getting me a car, that he was going to, he was like, she's going to be my wife. I want her to be in something secure. So my family was really like, wow, who knew that he had this kind of money? And so I hated the fact that he did that because anytime he got around my family, here's another red flag to put in the United Nations of red flags. He would always talk about money and he would always brag. I never realized it in real time. I didn't realize it until I was...
Okay, I'm not going to lie. The only redeeming quality of this guy is that he is a piece of flesh that is around her. and also that piece of flesh that happens to be 6 feet and 4 inches long. That's it. There's like nothing. Everything else is just like bad.
Out of the situation.
I'm literally trying to find redeeming qualities, and there is not a single fucking redeeming quality here.
Always bragged about the fact that he could fight, the fact that he had money, and the fact that he played football. Those are the 3 things he always bragged about. Back to cars. So I told him
he played arena football. Oh my God.
I was like, pick one between the BMW and the Audi, because you said you're buying it. So pick one. So this man chose the Audi. So he takes me to the dealership. I wanted a white Q8. He does give me the printout of how much it's going to cost, tax, tag, and title to get this Q8. Gentleman who's helping us gives him the printout. He's saying he's going to pay this money for the car out of the savings account that's offshore. That's the story. That's what he's saying. So he apparently...
That's not how this works. You can't just bring offshore cash inshore to buy a car. The IRS would be like, excuse me, what? You bought $100,000 car cash? Hello? How did you... Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. That's so dumb.
Is asking the guy, is there a holding fee? Can I pay a holding fee to secure this car while I'm working to get the money transferred? Because obviously with COVID, it's going to take long for the banks to transfer the money.
Actually, you can, but it has to be shuttled in through a complex trust system. No, I'm saying that, like, you can't just directly pay for a fucking car with offshore funds. The IRS is going to see that you purchased a car. And yes, the IRS does not care that you are 6'4". Okay? The IRS would not give a fuck. If that was real, that's a major red flag. Like, there's probably an automatic protocol for that to be triggered as a red flag. Guys, in these United States of America, you can't even fucking take out $10,000 from your own bank account without the bank literally automatically triggering the FBI. That's insane. They went after Al Capone because he was a short king. True.
No, I need everyone to understand. One of the reasons why he was able to get away with the stuff he got away with is because we were on lockdown. It's crazy because it's now 2024, but I don't know, do we all remember how it seemed like a lot of stuff stopped in 2020 now? Keep in mind, that's not an excuse I'm making.
Jesus stopped giving signs at this point, was just trying to see how far he would take this. Everybody was invested at this point. No more divine intervention.
Because shit still got done. But in terms of business as usual just was not happening in 2020 at this time. So when he's saying, it's going to take a while for the bank to transfer the money, the gentleman who was working at Audi he didn't make a face. He didn't blink. He was like, I know it's going to take a while because of COVID. So basically what ends up happening is we leave. He has the printout. He calls the bank, or he calls his financial advisor, who does have a name. The financial advisor's name is Eric. I feel comfortable using certain people's names, especially if we find out they didn't exist. So he calls Eric. He tells Eric in front of me, hey, I need to transfer $72,526, whatever the amount was, because I'm buying a car for my fiance. This is the bank account information. Do you need me to give it to you over the phone, or do you need me to email it to you? Pause. I can't hear what the person's saying, but that's what he would do. Do you need me to give it to you over the phone, or can I email it to you? Okay. All right, give me a few minutes and I'll go ahead and email it to you. All right, let me know. I'll call you back to find out if you received it. Okay, hang up. So I'm hearing this because, again, I'm not paying attention to, did I hear anybody on the other phone? Did I hear anybody on the other end?
Give this subs.
So he proceeds to type up an email, type up something, telling him this is the information that we need. I didn't think anything of it. He called me at work the next day to tell me that the money was sent to Audi, that he called Audi, and he confirmed with Audi that they received the money. What he told me is that the car is going to be delivered to the house. Y'all, it's not that I lived in a hood, because I didn't, but I did not live in an area of Clayton County where you would have a brand new Audi delivered to your house. So I remember saying to him, I don't want that car delivered to the house, not yet, because I need to put that car in the garage. And my Nissan I only had a 1-car garage, so my Nissan was in the garage. So he said, okay, well, let me call them back and change the delivery date. Can you be home, or can you do a half day? So he's asking me, can you work a half day so that they can deliver the car and you will be home for it? I said, yes, that's fine. Because
why is she still taking his word? Bro has not produced anything to date. Excuse me. He's produced a fucking long dick, I assume. I hope. Okay. I suspect that he was dignitizing her a little bit. Like, there's no other fucking rhyme or reason for this story to go on for as long as it did.
again, it's COVID. I'm working from home anyway. I only had to go in the office 2 days a week. So I'm at home the next day. He told me the car would be delivered between the hours of 1 and 3. Obviously, between 1 and 3, nothing happened. So 3 o'clock, I called him. He's at work. He sends me the voicemail. He calls me back. I said, it's 3 o'clock. No one ever came with the car. What's going on? And then I remember I was like, well, do I need to call Audi myself? Because I thought that you handled it. But if you didn't handle it, do I need to call them? And so whenever I would suggest I will handle it, he would get very, very defensive. Red flag number 472. So he was like, no, I will call Audi. Don't do anything. I'll call Audi and find out what's going on. Okay. So I'm at home chilling, cooking dinner, normal night. He calls me back and says, yeah, the car was stuck on the truck in Spartanburg, because apparently that's where their deliveries come from. So when he told me this, I was in the kitchen laughing, because by this point, I will be honest, and I told y'all I'll be honest even when it makes me look bad. I was guilty of...
Wait, you guys know what he looks like? There ain't no fucking way, dog. Wait. Okay, I need to see what he looks like. It got leaked. He looks like Drake. Oh, he's made hella videos. Wait, he started posting too? Okay, that's a spoiler. Let's not spoil it.
On one hand, I believed him, and on the other hand, I was like, let me see what lie he come up with. Let me just see. But keep in mind, my brain was really like not rationalizing, not comprehending how deep the lie was. I just thought that no one told him.
Given the popularity of this story on TikTok, I suspect this will be like a pivotal moment in the gender wars, I think. If he's also making these videos, I feel like YouTubers are going to start having her on and him on. And like the Manosphere is going to have him on. And then the Manosphere is going to be like, you were actually right, King. That type of shit. Oh my God.
If you got a significant other, and I don't care.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They found him. I'm not going to spoil it.
And the car was going to be delivered, and he made that up. I had no idea how deep the lie went. So he said, the car's in Spartanburg. It should be delivered this weekend. The weekend came, he had a whole other excuse. I don't remember what the exact excuse was as to why the car was never delivered. I do remember we got into an argument, and I was like, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna get a new car my damn self. I don't even need your help. Which is probably one of the worst things you can tell a narcissist, because they love to be the hero. It's all about them. But I was like, don't even worry about it. I'll get when I have the money to get a car myself, I'll do it. I don't want to hear anything else about a new car. I don't want to hear shit else about a car. Because at this point, I was spending way too much time trying to figure out, are we getting a car? Are we getting a house? Like, what the fuck is going on? Always there was an excuse. So when I told him I don't want to hear anything else about a car, and I am not going to a dealership to test drive another car, that ended that whole discussion right there. So this is where I'm going to interject what I believe was happening. I believe that my ex-husband is the type of person, he gets off, nut. He gets off on you being excited about something that he knows you will never get. So I believe that he enjoyed going to car dealerships. He enjoyed watching me test drive a car and get excited about it, knowing I was not going to get it. It is the level of cruelty. And again, I'm telling y'all stuff that I found out way later on. It is the level of cruelty that I still cannot comprehend. So the whole issue about the BMW and the Audi, I think he just enjoyed seeing me get excited and then pull it away. Part 11 coming up. All right, part 11. So for this part,
she's still in the car. Yo, this crazy. At this point, she's got to be doing it in the car for, to continue for continuity purposes, right? She lives in the car. God damn, dude.
I'm just going to
get this woman her Q8, okay? God damn, that fucking Nissan. What does she have? What's she currently driving?
give you some backstory on the family. Pause all the stuff about the house. Pause the stuff about the car. This is backstory on his family, my ex-husband's family. away.
Another
Late,
filler
more
episode.
shit.
Yawn.
I am fit. Tell me
We're
something.
skipping the fillers. We're skipping the fillers.
Okay, I know I look rough, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so this is part 12 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So this is the backstory on what I was told for the ex-wife. This is important. Pay attention. All right. This is 2020. So this is what I was told in 2020. I was told that he and his ex-wife used to be friends. Then they started dating and subsequently got married. They got married in California. He had bought a house with the money that he made from arena football. They had apparently had gotten married on the downward of the arena football career. Had a nice house. He showed me a picture of the house, showed me pictures inside
You
the house.
literally skipped critical info. Okay, you guys are crazy, dude.
The grandmother, brother in Augusta, and then they would reminisce husband's family. All right, follow me. My ex-husband's parents, mom and dad, are both deceased. Mom passed away from cancer. Dad passed away shortly after her. I'm not sure what he passed away from. So he has a number of siblings. He has two, with his parents, he has two brothers. One is older, lives in Philly. One is younger by 2 years, lives in Nashville. He has two sisters. One, Shantae, is older, lives in Douglasville with her husband and two kids, a boy and a girl. Younger sister Kim is the baby, lives in Augusta with her husband, worked at, I think he told me, Procter & Gamble. That was the story. He had two half-brothers that were through his dad. One brother lived in Baltimore. The other brother lived in Augusta. The brother that lived in Augusta, I have physically met in person, shook hands, hugged, all that. The brother that lived in Baltimore, I have FaceTimed with, talked to him. The brother that lived in Philly, the older brother that he looked up to, I have never talked to him on the phone. I would always talk to him through my ex-husband. So the conversation would be like, hey babe, brother so-and-so said hey. He didn't call him brother so-and-so. We'll call him John. John said hey. Hey John. I would be in the bathroom doing my hair, brushing my teeth. Hey John. And he'd be like, did you hear? He said, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. How's he doing?
Oh my God. Is brother John fake?
And so he would relay back and forth.
Oh my God. Is brother John fake? If brother John's fake, I'm losing it. He made up a fake brother?
Back and forth. He talked to John every day from starting around July after the grandmother passed away. He would talk to John every morning. We both would be getting ready for work and he would be on the phone with John. They would be talking for 30, 40 minutes, talking about football, talking about other siblings. They would be talking about cars. It was really like
arena
not
football.
A big deal. They would talk about the brother in Baltimore. They would talk about the brother in Augusta. And then they would reminisce. This is the conversations I could hear. Let me explain.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. This wasn't a skippable part. This was deep lore. Okay? Holy moly. This was actually good lore. Yo, I'm so invested.
When I say I can hear a conversation, what that means is I am physically standing near him or next to him where I could hear him with the phone up to his ear talking to someone, because it wasn't me. Okay? I may not hear the other person because the phone call may not be on speakerphone. But what I hear is, for example, I hear, hey man, what y'all doing? Oh, for real? Y'all barbecuing this weekend? What y'all making? Oh, that's what's up. Nah, I think me and her gonna stay in this weekend because, these numbers is looking crazy with COVID. Yeah, she over here. She's sitting right here. She watching TV. Okay, hold on. John said, hey. Hey, John. You heard her? Okay. All right, bro. I just wanted to check in on you. That's the type of conversation I'm explaining. Okay, so I hope that gives a little more clarity about the type of conversations I'm hearing. So, I don't know why this light keeps going out. Okay, so that's how he would talk to his siblings. The grandmother passed away. He called me around April or May and told me that his grandmother passed away. His grandmother, on his dad's side, had died suddenly from COVID. She had symptoms. She went to bed and did not wake up.
Probably the vaccine, brother.
He was distraught. He was crying. He wasn't eating. He
Even
was
though
just
this
sitting
is before
there,
vaccines.
listening to music, not watching TV, just sad because he was like, my grandmother was always my support system. So from what I saw, it really bothered him. I did not think anything of it. I'm one of those people. If you tell me somebody in your family passed away, I'm gonna believe you because I don't play about death. And I guess I expect other people don't either.
He did not lie about his grandmother passing.
However, that is not the same for everyone else. But we'll get there.
Hey, yo!
So, family. He had his sister, Shantae, who lived in Douglasville. Like I said, she was married with two kids. Apparently, she was a nurse. So when I had my miscarriage, that was the sister that he was like, my sister will take you to the hospital. Like, that's what family does. Okay? I had never met Shantae. I've been on the phone, I've been around him when he was on the phone with Shantae Never heard her part of the conversation. But he would be talking to his sister. That's what he said. That's what it sounded like too. Now, what is interesting is that we lived maybe 35, 40 minutes away from Douglasville. So there were plenty of times that he had invited me to go with him to his sister's house. Okay, let me tell you how this would always work out. Total times he invited me was probably 3 times for different barbecues or whatnot. The first time he invited me, I was like, no, I ain't going because, again, COVID. And she's a nurse. Hell no. The second time, he was like, yeah, she invited us, but I don't think we should go because COVID. No. The third time, I agreed to go. I was like, absolutely, I'll go meet your sister. Like, that'd be great. On our way to her house, to Douglasville, to go see the sister. Apparently, he got a phone call. The phone was always, like, on vibrate. But he got a phone call, and he told me that something came up, and so she had to cancel the barbecue to get together, whatever. And so I was just like, oh man, you know, okay, well, hopefully we can go another time. It didn't happen close enough for me to have red flags, if that makes sense. But at this point, as y'all probably like, girl, you so blind. But again, I didn't think anything of it because it's like, okay, if
the sister's fake. Ne yapıyorsun lan? Nice.
Fell through, we'll reschedule. And so we just went out to eat, and then he talked to another brother, the brother from Augusta that he would have on speakerphone. So it was like, you know, I didn't think anything of it. I really didn't.
Wait, so the real family members are like on speakerphone, fake family members not on speakerphone.
Man, and the more I talk about it, the more I realize like I'm not a dumb person, but it just never dawned on me the things that you have to now investigate. It didn't dawn on me, but nevertheless, that is the backstory for his family, right? Grandmother passed away. 3 weeks later, he called me and told me his uncle had passed away from COVID. The uncle had tested positive, had to go into the hospital, and he died. It was a bit of a red flag. But like I said, I don't play about death. So I was just like, wow. Because of these 2 deaths, he became a stickler about COVID.
Yeah, at this point, I'm assuming he lied about being 6'4" too, and then this whole thing falls apart when he's like standing next to something that she knows the height of and realizes that he's actually 5'11". And then drops the whole act. She's like, I found out that he wasn't 6'4". Episode part 78. I found out that he wasn't 6'4" and he was wearing lifts.
And when I mean a stickler, wear your mask, wear gloves, hand sanitize, wash your hands. Like, he was annoying about making sure neither one of us caught COVID. So now I'm gonna give you the backstory in regards to what I was told with the ex-wife. Okay, I know I look rough, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so this is part 12 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So this is the backstory on what I was told for the ex-wife. This is important. Pay attention. All right. This is 2020. So this is what I was told in 2020. I was told that he and his ex-wife used to be friends. Then they started dating and subsequently got married. They got married in California. He had bought a house with the money that he made from arena football. They apparently had gotten married on the...
Bro, one Google could have saved her life. Like, arena football money doesn't go that way. I Googled it and found out very quickly. I mean, it should have given her some clues. She didn't know what the fuck it is. If you don't know what the fuck arena football is, he's probably not making that kind of money.
Downward of the arena football career. Had a nice house. He showed me a picture of the house, showed me pictures inside the house. Remember that? Showed me pictures inside the house. It was a really nice home in San Diego. And basically what happened was that he came home from work early one day and came home early from work one day and his wife was sleeping with another man. The man was in the house. He and the man get into it. Her son, who is about 17 years old in 2020, she had 2 kids, a daughter and a son. The son apparently was on his way home from school when my ex-husband found his previous wife in bed with another man. So the story goes that he and the guy fought. He kicked the guy out. He kicked his ex-wife out, but told her the kids could stay. The kids are not biologically his. Those are his stepkids. She was like, you must be kidding. Like, I'm not leaving my kids here. The kids are old enough to where they were like, we don't want to go because you fucked up. We don't want to leave. So apparently she leaves. The kids stay
What
with
a
her for a few weeks.
fabulous. What a fabulous. Yeah. I'm so sick. The fucking children wanted to stay with me instead of their own biological mother after they were mad. They were mad at her for cheating on our beautiful stepdad. Yeah, he's the father that stepped up.
And